Welcome to the Governance Voting demonstration and guide. We'll be giving you a quick glimpse into how voting is done on Flare and Songbird using the Flare portal. Now, throughout this video, we're going to be using MetaMask as our wallet. However, any wallet supporting Flare and Songbird can be used in conjunction with the Flare portal. The first thing you'll see when you open up the portal to the voting app is your current votes and then a list of proposals. Press Connect on the top right corner and select the wallet account where you have wrapped FLR on the start date for voting. Now that your wallet is connected, you will see how many votes you can cast under your current votes. How is this calculated? Simply put, your vote power, or number of votes, is roughly equal to the number of your wrapped token balance. If you're voting on Flare, you must hold wrapped FLR, while on Songbird, you must hold wrapped SGB. Now, there's another tab called Account, which we'll briefly look at. You can see how many native tokens and wrapped tokens you hold, as well as your delegations in the FTSO system. Additionally, you're also able to wrap, unwrap, and transfer your tokens, as well as manage your FTSO delegations. So before you can participate in governance voting, ensure you have wrapped tokens. So let's do that now. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate wrapping tokens. I have 1,000 native tokens which can be wrapped, and I'm going to wrap 500 of them to leave some balance in my account. It opens up a transaction to sign, and I click Confirm. Now we wait for the network to confirm the transaction, and our balance is now updated. We can see the updated balance of 550 WFLR. Now, if we go back over to the Voting tab, we can again see our current vote, which is equal to our wrapped native token balance. In your case, it will be either your WSGB or WFLR balance. We can also see now that it's actually updated to the balance with the new wrapped tokens just added. Underneath this, you'll also see an option to transfer votes. This allows you to give votes to another account to vote on your behalf. For example, if you hold many personal accounts, you can group all your votes into one account. Now we're going to transfer all of the votes from this account to another one. So let's open up MetaMask to switch accounts. We're going to go down and copy the address where we want votes to be transferred to. Copy this address and switch back to the original account and then click on Transfer Votes. You can now click Transfer Votes again, and then in the input, paste the address the votes are being transferred to. After confirming, the UI will prompt you to sign the transaction, which we'll do through MetaMask. Click Confirm. We can see a successful transaction, and we can also view this in the Explorer if we wanted to. Now, keep in mind that you can change delegation and remove delegation. This, however, is completely unrelated to the FTSO system, so don't be concerned about that. This is simply for governance. Now, let's close this, and we can see our current votes is 0. If we switch back over to the account that we just transferred the votes to, we can now see that the vote count has increased. We now have additional votes to utilize in governance. Now remember this number, because when we go into the proposal below, there will be an important distinction that we need to be aware of. So let's open up this proposal, which is currently active. That means we can actually participate in it. Click on it, and it's going to open it up. So let's have a quick overview. We can see that voting starts on the 18th of November at 12 in your local time zone and ends on the 24th of November at 12 in your local time zone. Again, we can also refresh this data. If we want to refresh the proposal, we can also click on Proposal Description, which takes us to the GitHub repository, where the actual content of this proposal is hosted, which will be in the Flare Foundation GitHub repository. Then we can go to Technical Information, which will drop down some data. So there are a few pieces of information here, but the most notable one is the vote calculation block, which is going to be important for when we look at our vote in the details below. We have the proposal contract, which will just take us to the contract on the Blockchain Explorer, and then the proposal ID, which is generated when this proposal was created. We also have the proposal creator, so this is the address that created or proposed the current proposal. So if you go down to Vote in Details, Here is the vote calculation time, and this is related to the vote power calculation block here. So this vote calculation block has a timestamp, and this timestamp is correlated to this vote calculation time. Now this is important because you can see here we have no votes available, even though we just transferred votes to this account. So why aren't those transferred votes available here? Well, that's because we only just transferred them, and the vote calculation time was on the 18th of November at 12 p.m. in the current time zone, meaning we must have had wrap tokens at this point in time to be able to utilize for voting in this particular proposal. So therefore, the transferred votes we just made previously are not available to be used in this proposal right now. Now before we cast our vote, let's have a quick look at the votes and results below. So what we can tell from here is that the proposal is active and we can currently vote on it. Now, without going into all types of voting available, this voting proposal that we're looking at will pass only if all of the following criteria is met. The majority condition is needed, which means more than 50% of all votes cast are in support of the proposal. The proposal we're looking at currently has a majority condition at 85.88%, which means it will pass. Let's go ahead and cast our vote to influence this proposal. Click on Vote For, and we open up MetaMask, which allows us to sign this transaction. Then we click Confirm and wait for this transaction to go through. When we get the notification that our transaction was successful, this means our votes have been cast in favor of this proposal. And with our vote now cast, we just wait until the voting period ends. And once we can see the final tally, we will know whether the vote for this proposal has either passed or if this proposal has been rejected.